Tesla brought some pretty interesting updates in the latest 2021.24 update, and I felt like not that many people were talking about it. So I wanted to shed some extra light on here because I think the changes are pretty neat. For one, Tesla Theater gained Disney Plus, which it took a long time. But way back in 2019, I think Elon was responding to someone via a tweet and said, yes, Disney Plus would eventually come to the Tesla. It took them forever, and we're halfway through 2021 now. But yes, it did finally happen. And also, a huge annoyance Tesla owners have had for a while is what to do during automatic car washes, and now they finally have a car wash mode that will specifically close the windows, lock them off, close the charging port, so none of the cleaning materials are going to accidentally open that thing up. It turns off the windshield wipers, it turns off Sentry mode, and for the car washes with moving conveyors that you roll across, they will put the vehicle into neutral now, so you can imagine as much smartness as Tesla tries to have with their vehicles. When it goes through a car wash, it gets kind of confused with the overstimulation, so now having a dedicated mode for those scenarios is long overdue, and I'm grateful Tesla finally added that. They also added an auto dimming option, so if you go into settings, you can turn this on or off, but it essentially will automatically dim the mirrors depending on the lighting environment, I suppose, and an update to the dash cam that's one of those features, in my opinion, that once you hear that they added this, you're like, wait, why didn't it always work that way? But essentially, dash cam is pretty cool because there's just a little button on the top of Tesla's displays that you tap and it will suddenly record the previous 10 minutes of driving. And now, if a collision or the airbag gets deployed or something goes wrong in the vehicle, it will automatically save the previous 10 minutes so you don't have to ensure that, okay, a collision has took place or someone just hit me or my airbag went off, something went wrong, let me make sure to tap the display and hit the dash cam button again. So you can see what I mean by it's painfully obvious after the fact, like why didn't it automatically save the footage when a collision was reported, but now I guess it will automatically do that, which is just one less step for people to worry about. And I'm sure that during a collision or during an accident, you're not really thinking about pressing a specific button on the touch display. You're just thinking, you know, is everybody okay? Let's exchange insurance information. So I'm glad Tesla is automatically doing that now. Another feature which I thought should have been added a long time ago, and I believe I've seen people recommend this in the past. I believe Tech Forum was suggesting Tesla should add this feature, and now they've finally added it. I don't know if they watched the video, but enough people must have suggested it. So I'm glad Tesla listens to its customers and acts on these features. But now for the range estimate, some people like to have the miles there and some people like to have the percentage. So instead of having to dig into the settings and change it between miles and percentage, now just from the regular driving view, you can tap the battery icon and it will automatically switch between miles and percentage, which I think is really good because some people want to know what the car thinks its miles left are, whereas other people know that that range estimator is not super accurate and it's unable to predict very accurately what the percentage of your actual battery is. So for the sake of simplicity, you know, a lot of us with our phones and laptops don't necessarily just look at how many hours are left on our phone's battery, but we just look at the percentage. So I'm sure Tesla sees the usage of its split pretty well between their customers, and I can imagine some people, when their battery is fully charged, wanting to just see the percentage and they don't care much about the miles. But if the range on your vehicle gets lower and lower, that's when you start looking at the miles indicator, because you're thinking to yourself, okay, how much longer can I really go before I need to recharge this thing? So now you just tap the battery icon and it switches to miles or percentage. I think that's a great change and one that's been suggested for years. So thank you, Tesla. But I did actually save my favorite feature for last, and it's one that I was surprised Tesla was willing to add because it actually could potentially take away from their services revenue. But now you can stay connected to Wi-Fi in the vehicle while driving, which wouldn't really make sense for typical Wi-Fi networks, but it makes a ton of sense for phone hotspots, because currently Tesla will give you between a month or a year of premium connectivity, whether or not you buy a $40,000 Tesla or a $130,000 Tesla. They give you some premium connectivity, which allows you to go to websites and stream music and look at satellite view of maps. But after that premium connectivity trial expires, then it costs $10 a month for you to pull up websites on the in-car browser or even stream music through the built-in infotainment system. So if you're not paying for premium connectivity, that means you have to just Bluetooth music from your phone. The web browser does not work unless connected to Wi-Fi. But now finally, if you're in drive, you can connect the car's computer onto your phone's hotspot, which I think makes a lot of sense because many of us maybe don't want to add another $10 a month subscription on top of our vehicle but we already have a ton of data accessible from our phone, and we're still paying for cellular data there. And a ton of people probably even have unlimited data through their phone. So that means if they're on the go and they want to pull up the web browser, or if they want to stream music directly to the car, they probably will now be able to, thanks to connecting to the hotspot and using whatever carrier you're already paying for. And the speed of most people's hotspots is not very good. So I imagine that trying to hotspot and use features like Tesla Theater, you know, when you're parked at a supercharger, that might run up your data and it may not play super well. But I'm glad that Tesla is at least enabling it, because this is something that would make a big difference to me, especially knowing your phone is charging on the little Qi charger anyway. So you're probably not even going to eat into your phone's battery life that much. And a concern I've seen brought up recently is the older 2012 Model S's, they only had 3G modems in them, not LTE. And now there's major carriers shutting down the 3G service network. So that means these older Model S's are not going to have cellular connectivity moving forward unless you pay for an upgrade for the 4G modems. And we could someday see something similar with all of Tesla's right now, because currently none of the vehicles they're manufacturing support 5G. And in the future, if carriers decide to start discontinuing 4G, then we might have to start paying for MCU upgrades on our Model 3s and Ys and even S's and X's, because they didn't have the 5G modems to support the new network yet. But if you're able to connect to the hotspot off your phone, it shouldn't matter, because a lot of us upgrade our phones, I think, a lot more regularly than our cars. So if your phone supports 5G, you'll be able to hotspot that data to your car, and then even if you don't feel like paying the $1,000 or $2,000 for the MCU upgrade, you'll still be able to get data. Your phone will just get a little bit hot because your car is pulling all its data off of it. But that's just a long-term issue that I'm glad they're addressing now, and I hope that feature still works for many years to come. But either way, not enough people were talking about these features, and I thought it was a pretty massive update. So thank you, Tesla, for listening to people's concerns and giving people more practicality with their vehicles. This is by far, in my opinion, one of the coolest parts of Tesla, is how they just get better over time. And one day you can wake up and have all these great features that you wanted your car to have, and it didn't cost you anything. This is a free update for everybody. So let me know what your favorite feature is in this new list of updates. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.